Hi there, this is Anne Marie, and I'm going to be going over assignment 1. First, I wanted to show that the image service text file and the PRNG service text file are completely empty before starting the processes. Next, we'll look at main.py. There are two functions here, button action and run. The run function takes two parameters, the file name and a keyword, and writes the keyword into the file. In this case, it writes into the PRNG text file. The button action function uses the run function with the mentioned parameters, and once the button is clicked, it immediately writes the word run into the PRNG text file. Then whenever PRNG-py runs, it runs its output into the image service text file. After that, ImageServPy reads the text file again, which should now contain the image path. It then takes that path and uses Pillow to open the image and display it in the GUI below. And here are the labels and buttons, and inside the buttons are the command functions. Next is the PRNG-py file. It's pretty simple. Once it identifies the word run in the text file, it generates a pseudo-random number and writes it back to the PRNG text file. The main file then reads that number and writes it into the image service file. So for the image service py file, we have the list image contents function, which pulls images using the OS module and puts them into a list to make it easier to work with. Once the image service text file is read, we strip it and use the list image contents function to find the images in our local system. Then we use modulo on the random number generated and the total number of images to index into the list. We create a path using OSPathJoin and write that path back into the image service text file just like we do with the PRNG. Next, I'll show that each Python file is running its own separate process, starting with main.py. There's the GUI, then PRNG-py, and finally the ImageServPy. So all three are running, as you can see. We'll move that to the side to keep it ready. We also want to make sure our text files are visible. Okay, both ImageService.txt and PRNGService.txt. So we can see what happens when the OK button is pressed. And let's do that. As you can see, the PRNG text file now has the number and image service text has the path. When we press it again, it's a little quick, but you can see run appears, then the number in PRNG text, and then the number and path in image service text. Do it again, run number, number path, and that is assignment 1. Bye-bye.